But what's Karl Anthony Towns going to do? What's Mikal Bridges going to do? Those are the two key questions. And it's real nice to see on social media Mitchell Robinson playing with snakes. I don't want to see that shit. Excuse my language. I don't want to see it. I mean, the kind of stuff that he does, the games that he's missed in his career, the last thing we need. Could you imagine if we were sitting here today, ladies and gentlemen, and we learned that the New York Knicks lost their center and Mitchell Robinson because he was playing with a garden snake or something and got bit? Could you, I mean, this isn't even a word, but I'm going to make it up just for the purposes of this radio show. The passivity that I would feel, that I would be going off on behalf of Knicks fans everywhere. It's not even a word. I'm making it up. But it's necessary. Because let me tell you something right now. There's no excuse with the inordinate amount of game action that this brother has missed in his career. You understand? Looking like what is that, the Dracula with his damn hairdo. I don't want to see that from Mitchell Robinson. Stay your ass away from the garden. I'm talking about outside, your backyard. Stay away from the woods. Stay away from everything. Only garden I want to see you in is Madison Square Garden. You too injury prone to be subjecting yourself to something like that, playing around, going on social media, playing with snakes. He lucky it didn't bite his ass. With our luck, as New York Knicks fans, that's exactly what could have happened. It's bad enough Mikal Bridges hasn't looked the same. It's bad enough that Karl Anthony Towns hasn't looked the same. It's bad enough that Jason Tatum has come back and Detroit is elevated. And Cleveland can't be ignored. Could you imagine if the New York Knicks had lost Mitchell Robinson because he had got bit by a snake? The passivity that I would have felt. I just can't even tell you that. And that ain't even a word, but it's necessary to use it. Stay the hell away from the damn snakes. Nobody trying to hear that. You know, this is the kind of stuff that I get worried about. That's why come playoff time, I think they should be confined to hotels. But they should also have their own chefs because I don't want anybody poisoning their food. Because when people try to win, they will do stuff like that. Just ask the city of Utah what they did to Michael Jordan's pizza. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. It's 888. And I'll be damned if I think we're going to go down at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks. It better not happen. I'm just going to say that. It better not happen. It better not happen. I'm going to say that right now, okay? The Atlanta Hawks are an up-and-coming team. No disrespect or shade whatsoever to Trae Young, but they look a lot better without him. Obviously, they placed in the hands of Josh Johnson, who's a burgeoning star in this league. The brother can play, and I got that part. You see some of the talent that they have on their squad. You can't ignore it. I get it. They've got size. They've got athleticism. And most importantly, they have absolutely, positively nothing to lose. Plus, they've been formidable since the All-Star break as well. So we can't ignore all of that. But the New York Knicks, who've been in Game 7 of the conference semifinals 2 years ago, Game 6 of the conference finals last year, predicted to be in the finals this year. Listen, we understand if Detroit shellacks you. We understand if Boston gets the better of you and avenges what happened to them last year. But you talk about an epic failure. It would be if the New York Knicks lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the first round of the playoffs. You cannot go home for the season because the Atlanta Hawks sent you there. After the job Tom Thibodeau did, with Mike Brown now in as the head coach, we might not like it, but damn, we can kind of understand if you end up falling to a Boston, a Detroit, who obviously wants vengeance themselves and has beaten the hell out of the Knicks this year, or even to a lesser degree, Cleveland, who's suspect defensively, but offensively, they're prolific. We can somewhat understand it. Nobody wants to hear nor see that the New York Knicks were sent home in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks. If that happens, I believe heads are going to roll. I believe trades are going to take place. And I believe I wouldn't put it past James Dolan to make a change with the head coaching spot. I'm not saying that Mike Brown deserves that. I like Mike Brown, and I know he can coach. I'm saying you can't lose to the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Oh, hell no. That cannot happen. That happens, I think heads are going to roll, and they should. No way in hell that should happen, and I don't believe it will.
Stephen A., I have to uncomfortably report that the Knicks have drawn the toughest pathway in the Eastern Conference. The way this all fell, it just didn't fall in their way. They could have had the Raptors, a team who they have crushed. They played the Raptors 5 times this year because of the play-in or the in-season tournament. They beat them by 108 points in those 5 games. They just played them on Friday. All the players played. The Knicks won by 17. That would have been a much more comfortable first-round opponent than the Hawks. Then it's the Celtics. And look, the Knicks were 3-1 against the Celtics. They could look you square in the eye and tell you that they can beat them. They beat them in the playoffs last year, but that is a harder draw than Detroit, even though I know Detroit has dominated them in the regular season. It would just be, it's a tougher mountain to climb. Atlanta is a formidable team. They are better than the 6th seed because they were really like an 11 seed for the first 2 months of the season. And since then, they've played like a top 4 seed. So they're sort of masquerading as a 6. That makes it a little tougher. They have some perimeter size, Shea. Dyson Daniels has some size, which is what you want against Jalen Brunson. He was just 11 of 26 on Friday. But overall, Jalen Brunson is a load to stop in the postseason. But they do have perimeter size that will be a good matchup. I think this is probably headed for a 6-ish game series. And as long as the Knicks don't give a game away, I think that I would say about the Knicks in 6. But it's not going to be a simple series. And frankly, a 3-6 matchup shouldn't be a simple series. So I favor the Knicks, but they have to be on point from moment 1 in this series. They can't let a game slip through their fingers. We sometimes see higher seeds let game 1 or 2 slip through. It's not that big of a deal. The Knicks can't afford to kick a game. If they make a mistake and hand the Hawks a game, they'll be in big trouble in this series.
Let me say this to you. I said Josh Johnson. I meant Jalen Johnson. My bad. Brother can play. I like his game. I can't say enough about Alexander Walker coming over from Minnesota and the job that he has done. I think he's been a welcomed addition to their squad, deserves a lot of credit. Good kid. I think Shea Gilgeous' cousin, if I remember correctly. I mean, the bottom line is that I got a lot of, I like what I'm seeing from them. You see experience like the McCullums of the world and others. You like what you're seeing. I get all of that. I don't give a damn. You're the New York Knicks. You had championship expectations. They can't go down the toilet via a first-round loss to the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, it cannot happen. If that happens, heads are going to roll. I mean, a couple of cats expect to be traded. Head coach Mike Brown, there might be a conversation. Say what? What'd you say?
What were you going to say?
I think you're right. And I think if they don't get to the conference finals, that could be the case.
Yeah, I think,
but it's certainly going to be the case if they don't get out of the first round. Yeah, Shea, I'm going to emphasize it one more time, albeit redundantly. You cannot get sent home by the Atlanta Hawks in the first round when you walked into the season with championship aspirations. If they were facing Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, and somehow, some way, this was a first-round series, as bad as that would be, it would also be understandable. It's the Boston Celtics. It's Jason Tatum. It's Jalen Brown. Makes perfect sense. You understand? Cleveland, you got Harden and Donovan Mitchell and Mobley and Allen and those boys. Detroit, up and coming, number 1 seed throughout the year. Bum rushed you 3 times. We got it. The Atlanta Hawks. Good team. Nice young talent. So, you cannot be sent home by the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. If that happens, expect trades in the offseason and expect a new head coach to be coaching the New York Knicks next season.
ooh, okay. Yes, I agree. Technically, the Knicks seem to be more deep. They seem to be better defensively. However, you never know when it comes to the Atlanta Hawks. They are 29-15 since January 7th. That's when they traded